All right, hey everybody, Mark Burgess, Big East Bass Fishing here again. Thank you so much for taking the time out to watch the videos. I really appreciate it. And it's showing. Channel's growing, and it's all because of you, and I just can't thank you enough. So today I thought I would bring you a video that I thought was kind of interesting. I came across, as you know, I've been kind of organizing and cleaning out my space here lately. I came across a 2009 Bassmaster Elite Series Anglers. Very nice deal that Bass did for us back then. And I thought I would do a little story on the anglers that fished the 2009 Bassmaster Elite Series and where they are now. Okay, so I've done a little research, not a whole lot to be honest with you, but I'm going to list them all. And there are a total of 101 pros fished the Bassmaster Elite Series in 2009. And I'm going to talk about each and every one of them, how I knew them, how well I knew them, some conversations, little stories that I can recall about each one of them, and where I think they are now. I know kind of where most of the guys are, but not all. And honestly, I haven't had time to do a lot of research. So this is where kind of you come in. If you know the situation about a certain angler that I might not know, or something about an angler that I didn't mention, feel free to put it in the comments and we'll talk about it. All right. So like I said, there was 110 guys. 10 of the 110? 10 of 101 of them still fishing the Elite Series today. Out of the 10, 7 of them never left. Okay, there are 3 that left, went over to MLF and came back. All right, so let's get through it. This might have to be a 2-parter, maybe a 3-parter. We'll see. So, first guy on the list, Casey Ashley. Okay, I'm going to keep this probably right in front of me. I can read it without my readers. Casey Ashley, okay? So, to my knowledge, he is fishing MLF. Okay, I'm not sure who the 50 guys that are going forward. I don't know if he's one of those 50 guys or not. But Casey, didn't know him that well. I camped near him at Santee one year and was talking to him at like the office general store type of deal. I do know that the ladies liked him a lot because, as most of you know, he also can sing very good. So he had quite the following there with that. So other than that, I know he won the Classic. Real good on lakes like Hartwell and places like that. Really good on blueback heron lakes. And that's pretty much my knowledge of Casey. So next guy, Todd Otten. Okay, Todd Otten, fishing bass. Okay, super nice guy, down to earth, keeps to himself, kind of quiet. Just a great angler, very accomplished angler. I think flies under the radar a lot. But still with bass to my knowledge, fishing the Elite Series. Tommy Biffle. Tommy Biffle, one of those guys that went over to MLF. Phenomenal flipper, pitcher. Seen him at meetings and things like that, pre-tournament meetings, weigh-ins, things like that. Been in the weigh-in line with him. Got a chance to fish near him one time on Sam Rayburn. And I'm known to be able to do that, just not on the same level. The guy is just unbelievable. His presentation, how fluid he is at that technique, those techniques, pitching and flipping, just another level. I've seen him get into it with a couple other guys. Okay, very competitive individual. But his accomplishments really speak for themselves. Just a phenomenal angler. John Bondi. Did not have a lot of interaction with John Bondi. Again, just at, you know, pre-tournament meetings and photo ops and different things that Bass had us do out in the community, weigh-in line, weigh-ins, things like that. Do not know what John Bondi's up to now. I know he's not at Bass. Pretty sure he's not at Bass still. Maybe fishing open levels, things like that. Maybe Nation, but don't know if he's over on MLF. I don't think so. Denny Brower, man, what can you say? I mean, just phenomenal, you know, angler, accomplished so much. Classic Angler of the Year with Bass. Since retired, lives down on Amistad. Seeing a lot more of him lately on social media, doing some Strike King stuff, some great jig seminars, not seminars, but great jig videos. He's got some videos out there. They're not reels, but they're about 5 minutes long. You know, easily, you know, take in every second of it. And he breaks down jigs and jig fishing extremely well, as to be expected. Brent Broderick, Brody of the Lake, a guy that you know, was actually in the process of deciding to fish the Elite Series back in 2009. That's back then. There was like an 11 tournament format, and a lot of you know, not controversy, but just change in the industry with bass and angler interventions, and just getting involved in some of the decisions, you know, and that's where it went from like 11 events down to 9, 8 or 9. Has a great eBay store. Check it out, Brody of the Lake. Got some phenomenal hair going on for himself there. Okay, might have even, I think he was a hair model, you know, like product model. So character nonetheless. Stephen Browning, MLF guy. You know, not fishing bass now currently. You know, he's again, he's very accomplished, done a lot in the sport, been around a long time. Didn't have a lot of interaction with him. Again, you know, small talk around the weigh-in meetings, things like that. Then of course there's Mark Burgess. So Mark Burgess is talking to you now. Has this great YouTube channel, Biggie's Bass Fishing. You want to check it out. I'm fishing Nation now. Just a goal still to qualify for the Classic. I was planning on fishing 3 opens this year. I was going to do the Southern Opens, then I looked at the, you know, North Division 3 or whatever it was, the Northern Divisions. Had some situations come up where I needed to change companies that I work for now. So decided not to enter the Opens until I get that all squared away, and it is squared away, so we'll be looking to do that in the future, but right now just fishing the Nation. So Terry Butcher related to Edward Evers. I don't know if anybody knew that. Great guy, Oklahoma dude. Camped near him, was very professional, took real good care of his stuff. Again, it's just some of the memories that I have, you know, and I've talked to him at the campground and things like that. Fished some of the Opens back years ago with him. Central Opens, the name just that circuit. Let's see, Scott Campbell. Not sure what Scott Campbell's doing right now. Again, did not have a lot of interaction with Scott other than the normal stuff. Brent Chapman. I did have a lot of interaction with Brent and Bobby. Great people. They camped as well. Actually on Amistad, I was talking to Bobby ahead of time. I joined him at a campground down in that area prior to Amistad, and traveled down to Amistad with him. And you know, obviously seen him at sports shows and done some, you know, some seminar work with him at different things. Was at a Yamaha team meeting one time up on Champlain. So yeah, just great guy. And and just a really good angler. And like I said, doing real well on the MLF side now. We got Brian Clark, another great guy. I should probably preface this with everybody here was just super nice. You know, just good, solid people to be around. Enjoyed everybody. But Brian Clark, you know, one of those, you know, Midwest, Missouri, Oklahoma guys, and was able to share, you know, picnic table, you know, with lunch and stuff like that, you know, with him. Rick Clunt, what am I going to say? You know, obviously still fishing with bass. One of those guys that's was there at '09, is still here now. Hasn't left. Did spend, you know, he fished both for a lot of times and did really well on the FLW side and the bass side. Cool story with Rick. You know, just, you know, it was just, I don't say people maybe, I don't know if they were nervous, but were afraid to talk to him or whatever, but, you know, because of, you know, everything that he had accomplished and so forth. But just, he was very approachable, and had a number of great conversations with Rick. We talked a lot about, we were down on the Red River one time and talking about the different ways that people traveled and camped. He liked what I was doing and believed that to be the way, you know, the best way that he'd seen to do it. And that's what he's doing now with a big sliding camper on a dually, towing the boat behind it. At that particular time, he had like a fifth-wheel gooseneck trailer, fifth-wheel trailer, triaxle trailer. He would back the boat up inside this trailer, and it was not easy. It was a process, and a lot of people would give him a hand, guiding him in and so forth, but because it was a tight fit. But probably the best Rick Clun story I have is we were on Gunnersville, and we were staying at the Gunnersville State Park, and we were probably like, you know, 200-300 yards from the water, and we were talking. We were just sitting around his picnic table at his site, and we were talking about crankbaits, specifically square bills. And he was talking to me about the bigger square bills, the 2.5, 3.5, and actually gave me a couple. I still have them to this day. And, you know, basically talking about the system in which how he would throw them, and was talking also a funny story about Takahiro Mori. Maybe I'll mention that story when I talk about Takahiro. But as we were sitting there talking about square bills and, you know, the gear that you need to throw them, and his mindset, you know, on that, why he did what he did. I mean, I was just soaking it up like a sponge, you know. We watched this great blue heron walk from the lake. Like I said, you got to be 250, 300 yards from the water's edge, all the way up through the campground. And it was probably, wasn't that far away from us, maybe, I don't even think it was 50 yards, less than 50 yards. So we watched it walk up through the woods, and it was pretty much a cleared area with single trees, you know, canopy over top, but no brush, okay? We watched this bird walk up and lock up beside a tree. It had to be 20 minutes, half hour, something like that. Just absolutely locked up. Not a movement, not a feather. Just staring at the ground. And all of a sudden, in the blink of an eye, boom, went down and grabbed, you know, what a lot of people call a ground squirrel, what we call up here in the Northeast, a chipmunk, but it was a ground squirrel. Boom, it came out of the hole, it grabbed it, held on her for a little bit, whoop, and ate it. Okay, so that bird knew that these things lived up in this area, in the ground, and made that walk all the way up and waited on that thing to come out of the hole to eat it. Okay, so it's amazing to just think about how that bird came to know that, and that how fortunate Rick and I were to be able to watch it do that. So that was pretty cool. So I mean, but a number of interactions with Rick, you know, on my time, not only fishing, because I fished against Rick on the FLW tour around 2000, 2001, in the FLW series, all in 2006, 2007, and then the Elite Series 2009, 2010. So I cherish those memories. Jeff Canella. Not a lot of interaction with Jeff. Again, besides the usual, weigh-in line meetings, things like that. Not sure where he's at right now. Maybe if you guys know where Jeff is. Ken Cook. Ken Cook, rest in peace. Did spend quite a bit of time with Ken. Funny story, long time ago, I'm kind of dating him, but long time ago, my father and I went to the Bassmaster, like the BP Top 150 on the Connecticut River out of Hartford, the one where Roland Martin won. And we went there like 2 or 3 days in a row, but after one of the days, we were hanging around, guys were coming off the water, taking their boats out and whatnot, and I approached Ken and called him by another angler's name. Okay, so I can't remember the other angler's name that I called him, but he was great. Okay, he said, "No, I'm Ken Cook." He goes, I'm not so-and-so, but I've been called a lot worse. That so-and-so's a great guy. So kind of a funny start. So we had a great conversation, there. And then years later, qualifying for the Bassmaster Elite Series for 2009, the first tournament was on Amistad. So when I got down there, I was down there with Bobby Chapman, Brent and Bobby Chapman. They were staying at a different campground. I went to my campground, and Matt Herron was there, Billy McCagran and Norma were there, and Ken was there, and Tammy. And so when I pulled up, I started getting set up, and Ken was the first one to walk down and welcome me to the Elite Series, and gave me a tour of their camper. They had the badass camper that you've ever had. Just an awesome piece of equipment, which it not only had 2 slides, the back slid out. It was enormous. You'd never know you were in the back of a pickup truck, in this thing. So, so great memories with Ken, former classic champion on the Chesapeake. So, John Cruz, needs no introduction. Fished around John Cruz quite a bit. At the angler reception in 2009, we sat at the same table. He had a broken arm at the time, which he was hoping was going to be all set. I think it was his right arm that he broke. Hoping things, the cast was going to be off and he'd be good to go, for that season. But don't think he had the lure company missile baits at that time. But spent some time with John. Steve Daniel retired now, guiding still down in Florida. Stayed around Steve, saw him, just outgoing, friendly, talk, just, normal stuff like everybody else, in the weigh-in lines and meetings, things like that. Mark Davis had a lot of interaction, with Mark. Skied a guy for most of the time that I knew him, skied a Yamaha. So we're doing a lot of, team photo shoots and stuff like that for Skeeter and Yamaha. And, got to spend a lot of time with him. And, just great, down-to-earth guy. Fishing, of course, Mark, classic champion AOY. Now with MLF now, certainly. Still doing really well. Boyd Duckett. Did not have a lot of interaction with Boyd Duckett, but, he was just starting to get his deal going. I met him, I believe on the Elite Series in 2009, and he had already won the Classic. But he was just getting his stuff going right there, Duckett rods and so forth. Guy Aker, how could you not like Guy? I mean, I remember being tied up next to him I think we were fishing, we might have been in the Mississippi River, but yeah, just again, professional gentleman, stuff squared away. He was always squared away, just like I said, just impeccable, professional, friendly, and just a pleasure to be around. And let's see, so guy like Paul Elias, okay, another one. Yeah, just met him through Mans. I spent a little bit of time with Mans way back, and met Paul and seen him around. And again, just completely just professional and just a nice, outgoing guy. You know, easy to talk to. Obviously, very accomplished. Edwin Evers. I just remember him at different campgrounds, just like 5,000 rods all over his boat and just rigging for hours. You know, yeah, just a hustler. I'm just always moving, always got something going on. Just busy guy. Um, Todd Faircloth, another super nice guy. Again, spent some time with him at Yamaha meetings, team meetings, and with Skeeter, and seen him at the factory and stuff like that. Different tournaments and the Central Opens, and then the Elite Series. Yeah, just a good guy, and just to be around. Jamie Freilich, yep, just another. He's from the Dakotas. He's out there, South Dakota, I believe. Another guy, just kept to himself, but just a great angler, and good to be around. I remember having lunch with him and stuff like that, and just hanging around after weigh-ins and stuff. Vince Fox, another guy that came in 2009. We were the rookies, one of the rookies. Oklahoma dude, funny guy. He ended up hooking up with Matt Herron traveling. And him and Matt, I've done this video, played a wicked joke on me, wicked practical joke on our way out to California in 2010. So I have to tell you about that. But I have done a video about that. Just a funny dude. I got some pictures of him. Just nuts. Just fun to be around. Great angler. Good family. Yeah, miss hanging around with him for sure. Grant Golbeck, another guy, kind of was around when I was around, fishing a lot of the same circuits and things like that. In 2009, actually had some interaction with him when I was a Skeeter rep. I was looking to get in with Skeeter. So obviously, fishing the same circuit with just 101 guys, you get to know people, and again, see him at all the different things that we do. Chad Griffin won Oneida. One of those guys that I don't know, I can't remember if he was a rookie then 09. He might have been, but yeah, I saw him at a Bass Pro Shop here in Foxborough, and doing some stuff, and yeah, I was psyched for him when he won that tournament. He's not fishing now. I'm not sure what he's doing, not with Bass, and I don't believe he's with MLF either. So, but he won an elite event 2009 on Oneida. And let's see. So we got Pat Golden. Pat Golden hung around with Dave Wolak. Haven't heard his name in a while. Not sure what he's doing. And we had dinner a few times together, just friends of friends at different, like Clark Ream's house and stuff like that. So, so that was my interaction with him. But again, not sure what he's doing right now. And see, what do we got? We got Pat Golden, Chad Griffin, Vince Fox. So we're coming up on Shaw Grigsby. So why don't we just call it right there, and we'll pick it back up at Shaw Grigsby. All right, I'm just gonna, not sure how long this has been, but it's probably getting a little bit long. So why don't we part 2? We'll start off with Shaw. Okay. All right. So Thanks for checking out the video. Stay tuned. Looks like this is going to be maybe 2 or 3 parter, at least a 2, if not 3, maybe 4, who knows. But try not to be too long-winded, but as you can see, there's something to say about pretty much everybody on this list. So, all right, so we'll catch you on the next one.